Hey guys, Monk52 here of course, and today we're discussing the Bourgone. Now, dive right into modules. Armament durability mod is what I'd recommend. You could go aiming systems or main battery. Both are good choices too, but a bit more survivability of the gun does help out quite a bit. Propulsion mod is life, really. I wouldn't opt for steering, but it is a choice. Concealment, very good, and main battery is your go-to option. 380mm guns at legendary tier can seem a bit small, but you forget these are French 380s, so they're perfectly adequate. Honestly, Jean Bart level gun, so probably even better pen. Yeah, with this build, with a reload focus build, you're getting like 22-second reload for a battleship at this tier is pretty insane. You're a DPM monster. You've also got an option for a speed boost or secondaries, which you wouldn't, please no. You've also got main battery reloader, which is obviously, pretty darn spicy. Take a look at the armor, basically coated in 32, but it's only coating in 32. It does in fact have a turtle back and it has got some sizable armor. You probably will get citadeled if you get broadside, but it is essentially a Jean Bart of legendary tier, so don't expect it all the time, but you will. You're going to get mashed and ruined by Yamatos, but citadeled, it might be a problem for them to citadel you unless you're flat broadside. The power of guns at legendary tier are so strong, you probably aren't going to get clapped very hard. So be careful, play it safe with Bourgone regarding its armor scheme. Obviously, cruisers will murder you because 32 coating means they pen you everywhere except the massive guns, but nothing really fancy or anything different about it. It's essentially a French battleship hull coated in 32. Commander of choice is A.L. Dunkirk with, as I said, Paladin and Kedrov for better turning. Fine Cannoneer. Her special skill frontal fire, which means you basically reload instantly, with the exception of a loss of AP shell damage or HE, all your shells by a minute point. Very good, really. If you don't like this option, a Jujar build here is pretty free to play. You could swap out Scharnhorst for Paolo, of course, and give yourself an Iachino, and you will run this sort of similar build. Megalomania as well to capitalize on that reload. Really nice because Bourgone is all about that DPM. You could run a speed build as well. Similar sort of build, you run Megalomania or you run Firefighter with Emil running a kind of like a brawler speed build. That's not a bad idea too, but I recommend Jujard over that. Now in this game here, we're playing with Kiki Mix Gaming. He's on Twitch. Go check him out. He's a lovely, nice guy. Nice and fun. Nice morning for streams for me sometimes to watch. Yeah. So anyway, we're in Bourgone. We spawn in the middle. You kind of want to be kiting as much as you can in the early games of this boat. Again, it is fragile. With the amount of Yamatos in games, you can get really hurt. Angle and you hope for the best, really. They can pen 30mm plating, but they might bounce off your armor belt. So you've still got some chances to bounce some shells, but don't expect to bounce much when you're fighting Musashi or Yamato, or really anything with big, scary screw you guns. Obviously, Conqueror HE will ruin you as well. Honestly, the only true weakness of this boat, I would say, is Yamatos. But you can do some stuff to Yamato too. You catch some Yamatos broadside. You position better than a Yamato does, and do some pretty nasty damage. Really, some pretty nasty damage. Like you'll do some monster damage. I mean, like you'll see here in this game. Honestly, yeah, you position well. You play it really well. You play a battleship well, Bourgone will reward you quite heavily with good results. It's a very potent boat. As I said, it's really good at pumping out a lot of damage very quickly, and with AL Donkey's skill, you will be switching your ammunition types a lot, even if you're not using AL Donkey. AL Dunkirk, of course, just to highlight. You'll still be switching shell types a lot. The AP is good, and there is 380s, which are still okay for considering they're French. You still need to switch ammo types a bit because angle targets you just want to switch to HE because it's more effective. French Bourgone HE is very good and you should swap it out as much as you can. I've out Conquerors in fire setting. I've outdone them with fire. You need to use AP as well. You swap and change all as much as you want. You'll be surprised how much you've got going for you. Plus, again, it's more about that fire rate. You're firing so quickly, and you're also the fastest battleship in legendary tier with that speed boost as well. So your chance to reposition, disengage, and you can even use that reload booster to set additional fire if need be, but usually save the reload booster for a broadside target. You want to make sure you kill it. If the first shot doesn't do it, you fire your reload booster, and then you make sure that second shot does it very quickly. So we're shooting at some ranged targets here. We've got broadside shots, so we will be shooting the AP, but you'll see throughout this game we will be switching it back and forth. Now this game is a bit older. I haven't been able to record properly. Hopefully there's no audio problems, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll do what we can. So we're going to pop our speed boost here. We're going to reposition because we like being middle of the map. It gives us opportunities to get all the crossfires, but the downside is, well, we can get crossfired ourselves because when you're in the middle, people you like to go in the flanks, you're always in a crossfire. So you need to be very careful about your positioning if you're playing middle. So it does work pretty well, but you have to be very careful about it. Plus, again, just being careful in your battleship. You're playing it almost like a kiting cruiser. Now, technically, a Buffalo could actually bounce your salvos, but he is giving flat broadside, or we're close enough to it that we're just going to keep the AP going. And you never know. I think we're going for Buffalo here. And yeah, broadside Buffalo, fast shell ballistics with the French, magic shells, I like to call them. Yeah, we got rid of one. Not really much of a damage, but hey, first kill off the bat, that's very good. We took some damage in return, a little bit of chip fire, but nothing really crazy. Just some shells from a Minotaur, messing about. Also, our division mate did eat a torp, unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. It happens to the best of us, especially, on when your division mate does well. Usually, when you do well, your division mate usually doesn't. So, unfortunate, mate. But hey, we're gonna try and bring this one home for him. So we're fighting some nastier targets. We have, I believe we have a Shimakaze there. And obviously we're going to switch to HE using our frontal fire skill here. We didn't do that, we fire what we got, and then we just switched to HE afterwards because HE is generally just pretty good anyway. We do take him out, securing another kill for our team, and really capitalizing on that ammo switch usage here. We got to switch it and swap it back and forth really as much as we can. Now again, we have the HE loaded, we can swap using their skill back to AP on that broadside Republic, but it is a Republic, quite a tanky wee boat, so we'll see what happens. Nothing really great. French battleship armor is very trolly, especially at legendary tier. The Republic essentially is a legendary tier boat. It says tier 8, but that's just lies. No, it's tier 8 boat, but its performance is very, the thing is very strong. Anyway, we got some broadside targets on the A cap, I believe, with obviously destroyer in the B caps here. So we're going to push these targets while remaining close to the island, so assuring that we do not get torped. We do have to watch out for Republic. He can be quite terrifying, as it has the best pen in the game. Again, still being tier 8 and really fast reload. It does only have 2 gun turrets, but still 8 shells, so it's quite a bit. And yeah, just pretty nasty. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Republic. I think Republic does give us some hassle. Anyway, we see Frederick de Grosse, and we're going to try and hit him again. More like a Hail Mary. We have nothing else to shoot at him again. It's both with DPM, so if we can fire as much as we can, just keep firing. Unfortunately, we do get a torpedo from, I believe it was a widespread. It could have been Shima. It sounded and felt like a Shima, so probably was a Shima. But we'll have to see. Yeah, so we're going to push this. We have the speed. We're not spotted. We can obviously switch to EG once everything's reloaded. There we go. And yeah, we can just straight up push this destroyer and get rid of him. We have that speed. If you're not using your ship to your strengths, then I don't think you're helping your ship too much in helping, to actually win the game. So I like to use my ship strengths, really. And we're going to push this destroyer while we're not spotted and catch him off guard, Use detection and concealment for the side of the battleship rather than the destroyer. So now we are spotted here. We're going to have to be careful about it. But there is Yamato, but again, we have got island cover. Frederick de Grosse, I believe, is either dead or hidden behind the island. Again, I'm watching a recording here, so we'll have to see. Alaska could be a little bit scary, but again, he's not a battleship. He is going to hurt pretty hard, but he's not a battleship at the end of the day. So we can just shrug it off a little bit and say it's acceptable losses, because battleship, you do trades. You make your plays for health losses. That's typically how battleships play. Again, if you can mitigate no health losses, perfect, but most battleships will trade health for damage. Whether the trade is positive or negative is up to the situation and up to the player. So we're pushing in here. We're pushing quite aggressively into this cap, taking over here. Obviously, more torpedoes are coming in. We've got our we just ran out of our speed boost here. We've changed course and direction just a little bit, just enough to throw them off. And now we're going to push behind this island where the destroyer was to ensure no follow-up torpedoes are coming this way. Okay, we see Yamato broadside. So again, AL Dunkirk is kicking in here. Once we get our shells, our guns reloaded, we're going to swap off to AP, and hopefully we can get something good on the guy. That's if he keeps pushing, that is. Again, watch it for destroyer torps. No. Okay, we're going to get another one. Damage control a little bit early, honestly, in my opinion. I think I messed that one up. I should have maybe waited for a follow-up set, but you know what? I'm not going to complain if I don't get flooded again, you know? But yeah, do be careful on that. Just make sure you've got all your sets here. Now we're giving a kind of an angle here, a little bit too much broadside to this Yamato. Again, he does overmatches, so we gotta be careful, but I really want him to get that sweet, give me that sweet broadside. He's not paying attention to me at all. We are spotted though, but he's just completely oblivious, which is great. Secondaries are even hitting him. He doesn't even care. And yeah, this thing is an absolute beast when you play it right. This Bourgone is an absolute monster of a boat, and this is gonna prove it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Yeah, thing is, that was beautiful, and I'm like, beautiful. And then I see that Yamato there, he's also getting broadside, like, come here. And this is where I make a bit of an indecision here. So I kind of slow down, hoping that Yamato will do the same thing as his mate there, his wee buddy there, and the other Yamato, you know, the one that's sinking down there. I was hoping that would be the case, but he's wise. He saw his friend get ruined, and he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna, you know, park broadside in front of me within, you know, essentially for battleships point blank range. I was really hoping he'd do it, and I was like kind of holding my position. Sorry about that. Kind of holding my position in the hopes that he would do this, but eventually I realized that he's not going to do that. He does know I exist, and his guns are pointing right at me, which is a good indication that he knows I'm here, and he's probably going to kill me more than I'll kill him, because I've only got 30k health. If he fires just a tad faster, I might not dev him. He is full health, so you know, that was a good salvo, but it might not always happen. I don't have time for a real booster, because at this point blank range, Yamato will 100% kill me, whereas I have a chance of killing him. I will definitely do damage, but will I survive? Probably not. We're up on ships, but we're down on points. They have triple cap, which is not good, because that means all they do is stay alive. But you know, we'll see. I mean, the game's looking pretty good, but at the same time, it still could go either way, depending on how well this Yamato and his believe Republic. It could be Republic. I'm not even sure right now. Whatever the other ship right now plays. So yeah, we're going to push out a little bit here. Knowing the Yamato is not going to do what I hoped he would do, we're going to push out, use our speed, and reposition. Now, we're not spotted right now, which gives us a little bit of advantage here. He probably knows what we're doing, but it's the advantage of Bourgone. It's so quick. The time it takes for the Yamato to adjust to what we're doing, since Yamato turret traverse is really bad, we can work with it, and we can do some really good stuff potentially. So again, he's reversing. We catch him a little bit off guard, which is nice. He's just straight up reversing. Bourgone battleships really have a big weakness. They are pretty darn prone to being countered like that. And we're going to pop a reload booster here, and hopefully we can get rid of the Yamato. So yeah, second shot is coming at any time now. There we go. And then we can focus our attention towards other Yamato, it seems. Yeah, other Yamato as well. Again, because we still got a reload booster here, what's really annoying is when you're running out reload booster, the reload resets back to its normal cooldown, so it would say like 3, 2, 1. Once it resets, it's going to go back to the regular timer, so we actually gain reload once the reload booster expires. Decent wee shot on Yamato. Can we fire another one? We get one Citadel, not as lucky as our first salvo on Yamato here, but we're hopefully getting a little bit better here. Notice we're in 4 kills, so kind of interested in potentially getting the Kraken here. Let's see if we can. Again, Bourgone reload very quick, so we can get a fire chance again. We've got a fire now before the Yamato goes behind that island. Shots coming out, and they look really good. Can we get the rear turret? No, we can't. The kill gets taken at the very last second, and we do not get our Kraken, unfortunately. But I think we can agree that was a pretty interesting game. 250k. The Dev Strike, high caliber, and of Confederate with a 3k base. Not bad. Really interesting. I thought this was a good explanation of how the boat plays and how you can really get the most out of it, guys. Hope you had a wonderful time watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 2k, and have a lovely day, guys. Bye for now.